So when are you going to make that call, do you know? Okay. All right, well, that's good. So at least we're not going to gear up just to be geared down. Sure. Well, that is the mic I see. Okay.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 11:11 a.m. Fireside Chat with me, Vickie Meeks Miller, your Community Engagement Manager, on this absolutely wonderful Wednesday, September the 15th, 2021. Can you believe that September is halfway gone? I tell you, as is the summer, it's almost gone. As we count down to the Harvest Moon Ball on this Friday, the 17th, from 5 until 9 p.m., today I have joining me a special guest, Mr. Ron Downing of the Henry Downing Band. Welcome, Ron. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Vickie.
Awesome. We are delighted to have Ron, who has delighted us many times as a solo performer, as well as he has performed in a duo with Miss Myung?
So-Young Chun.
So-Young Chang, I'm sorry.
Chun, yeah.
And who's a very accomplished flautist that we have enjoyed as well. However, we have not had the full band experience with the Henry Downing Band. So, Ron, tell us a little bit about the Henry Downing Band and its members.
Well, thank you, Vickie. Thank you. And we're really looking forward to Friday night for many reasons. You haven't heard the Henry Downing Band because we haven't had an opportunity to play. Mm-hmm. So Henry Downing is a pseudonym. You say, what is a pseudonym? Pseudonym is like a stage name or an author's name when they're not using their real name. So when people ask us who's Henry Downing, we can all raise our hands. We came up with that. Many bands do this. Some people may not know that Fleetwood Mac is not just something that was coined. Fleetwood is the name of the drummer's last name, and McVie was the bass player. Mm-hmm. And there's other country bands that kind of throw the names together. So Bobby Henry is a percussionist that I've been with for over 20 years, and of course my name. So when we were putting a name together, the Downing Brothers Band was together for almost 25 years, and I suggested to Bobby, because he'd been with us most of that time, we need to keep the name somewhat similar. Yes. for people that are looking for what we're doing. So we took his last name. His name is Bobby Henry, and we took my name, Ron Downing, and we came up with a name that sounds believable, Henry Downing. So it's the Henry Downing Band. It consists, of course, of those two members. We've been together a long time. So-Young Chun, the young lady you just mentioned. So-Young is very talented. Mm-hmm. We're only using her musical skills on vocals, flute, and ukulele Friday night, but she also plays piano and keyboard, so hopefully we can work that in at some point in the future. Mm-hmm. Roger Dickinson, I'm very excited to have back with him because he was in the Downing Brothers Band for about a 20-25 year run, so he's back with us. Many people might remember Russell Prusak was our keyboard player. The last time we played at Richfield was at Ridgecrest and also at Knollwood for Christmas parties back in 2019. So anyone that's tuning in and can remember those Christmas parties we did with Tina Nolan and Desi and many people, I think that was pre-Vickie time, went to that parties, and I think they had a good time. So you're going to hear something very, very similar, if not exactly, many of the songs, but a very good guitarist in Roger Dickinson. So that's kind of how Henry Downing got together and the individuals in the group.
Awesome. Sounds like I missed a lot of fun and good performances before I got here, but I'm delighted to be here on Friday to hear the Henry Downing Band. And you mentioned the Downing Brothers Band, so
correct.
That was the preceding band,
yes.
if you will?
Yes. There are three brothers in the family. I'm the middle child, so I had an older brother and a younger brother. Jimmy is a recently retired podiatric surgeon in Charlottesville, and Perry and I were in business together with Merrill Lynch. We had the Downing Group of Merrill Lynch. So many years ago, Jimmy and I were playing a lot when we could. We lived in different places. I was in the military, so wasn't always around. But it was kind of interesting. We're at our dad's house one time, and Jimmy and I are playing, and Perry's beating on a box, and we're singing, and he said, I got to do something better than this. So bless his heart, he went in and learned how to play keyboards. So and then we formed the Downing Brothers Band, and we had a nice run on that. But with the distance now and the interests, you know, all change. So I'm the active brother now, and Downing Brother Band doesn't sound quite the same. So, so Bobby and I and Roger, we're 3/5 of that original band. So, and then So-Young bringing it in adds a very special touch to the group.
Indeed, indeed. We have enjoyed So-Young playing here already, so we are excited to have, as I said, the full band experience, and we look forward to other opportunities once you have some keyboard arrangements in there as well. Sounds great. Now tell us, other than Richfield Living, where have you enjoyed playing the most?
Really enjoy to play with people that are enjoying hearing the music, that are actually connecting with the musicians and showing that they're enjoying themselves or dancing or reacting to actually the music. That's the one thing I really, one of the big things is difference between a DJ and a live musician. DJs really honestly don't work too hard during the performance. Of course, they put their music all together and play recordings. But live musicians are an expression of that song. They're human beings that are actually, where there was nothing, now there's a song. And so that's a creativity that's unique in itself. And people ask me if you enjoy it. Well, of course, you don't want to do something you don't enjoy. But the biggest pleasure comes when other people are enjoying the music and finding something from it. When people come up to me and say, I haven't heard that song for a while, it brings back good memories, or my father used to play this, or for many of us, we're the fathers and the grandfathers now that kids are talking to about that music. But particularly the music that we play connects with a multi-generational crowd.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you kind of answered my next question, which is, what do you love about performing? And it sounds like you really love it when there's a connection with the audience, and you know, they are feeling or enjoying that expression of creativity.
Yes, yes. When there's a human exchange, when there's people that are smiling or clapping, or sometimes winking or coming up to you and talking during your breaks or something about something that connected with them. Particularly music that's not overplayed. I try to choose the repertoire of songs that are popular, but not to the point that you just, I'd rather not hear that song anymore. It's worn out. Sometimes songs get worn out, I think. So try to play songs that, you know, bring people back to that point in time in their life, or the feeling that they had at that time in their lives.
Music is very therapeutic in that way. And tell us what we can expect to hear on Friday.
Along the same lines, I write the shows, so if it either works and it's my fault, or it doesn't work and it's my fault. But these are great musicians. This is the greatest group of people I've ever stepped on stage with as far as their musicianship goes. They know where they're going and they know what they're doing, and they don't need me to coach them as far as their musicianship goes. But we're going to go back. I was looking over the song list that we put together. There are going to be songs from the 50s. There's going to be songs from the 60s. There's going to be songs from the 70s, because that's my era, and I know everybody here was around in the 70s, so there'll be songs that they will recognize. And also take pride in not repeating an artist. There's not a single repetition of a song. There'll be songs that people will know and understand and like, but we're not going to double up on any singular artists. A lot of them, like the 20 songs that I've written down, are 20 different artists and 20 different composers, and each is a standalone type of song. So it goes back to, we're going to do some crossover songs from both the country and the rock. A lot of there's some southern rock songs in there, and if you don't remember what I'm saying, I'll talk about it Friday night too, a little bit about what each song is and what that kind of theme is. But I think people are going to catch something from each one of those eras.
Right. Well, and I think we coined it classic Americana, so it should be something with which we all are familiar. Maybe get us on the dance floor, at least tapping your feet a little, or chair dancing is a wonderful way to have a moment in music. So don't ever discount chair dancing. That counts.
Or even just waving your hands. That
That's
works too.
right.
And a point and a thumbs up and a wink. That goes a long way.
It certainly does. And I know that it will be quite enjoyable as we've enjoyed you throughout your stay here at Richfield and
Thank you.
before, as we mentioned.
Thank you.
Now, do you have any upcoming engagements in the near future?
We've had a long-running time with Roanoke College. Very, very honored to be part of their offerings when they have programs. For many years, my goodness, I'm trying to think how far back, over 20 years, we've been asked to play for Alumni Weekend. We've been asked to play for Family Weekend. That goes back with the Downing Brothers Band and the Henry Downing Band. And they're having their Family Weekend. Thank goodness last year was virtual, and that changes all the dynamics, so there was no picnic or outdoor event. So we are playing on the first weekend of October. I think it's October 2nd, a Saturday, right on the common ground out there, the back quad's what the college calls it, right in front of the Colquitt Center, which is all the new buildings. They're very beautiful. We'll be playing an outdoor concert there on October 2nd.
Awesome.
And we do have a contract to play for the Club 300, which is probably, if not the best, one of the best dance groups in the Roanoke area. And they've had a suspension of their activities too due to the COVID restrictions. But we've been asked to play, and we're scheduled to play New Year's Eve for the Club 300. And that's a little different dynamic because you have to throw in some waltzes and you have to throw in some cha-chas and rumbas, and we actually have to know what we're doing, which we're very gifted. I should say, Lucky, and my percussionist is very gifted, I should say. He has a music degree from Radford University, and he actually knows all the patterns, and so when someone asks for a certain beat, Bobby knows exactly what they're talking about. So that's helped us with the dance groups too, because he lays down a very good dance beat.
Sure. Well, it sounds like the Henry Downing Band is very versatile, very talented, and those are two elements that are very necessary in this day and time, but in music in general. We were talking about that before we aired.
Right, and then I have some solo work too. I know people have seen the postings, but Stony Brook, they haven't asked me to do any broadcasting for them, but it's a really nice vineyard just down in Troutville. So if you're looking for an activity on a weekend, very nice family-run operation, and I'm playing down there pretty regularly. I'm really blessed to have met the Vernons and the Showalters, or the families that own Stony Brook, and this is their first year. So if you say, I haven't never heard of Stony Brook, there's a reason for that, because it just opened this year. So that's another place I'm playing pretty regularly, almost every month, all the way through the end of the year.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, we were happy to have a contingency of residents go to one of those performances, and, we look forward to seeing you there again in the future. So it sounds like we are in for a treat with the band. We are certainly in for a great night of music under the stars. It's going to, and we are willing this into existence. It's going to be a beautiful, star-lit night. We have saved it on our phones so that we have saved the best possible forecast. And we are definitely looking forward to the Henry Downing Band experience. And we're looking forward to each and every one of you coming out just to enjoy this time together. COVID has kept us separate, and while we've tried on several occasions to have this experience with the band, due to COVID restrictions, things have gotten canceled in the past. However, we are looking forward to having this outside time together. Of course, we will do so as safely as possible. Social distancing, unless you're familiar with those in your group. Masks are always recommended when you're not eating, of course. And also one other note, in the event of inclement weather, we will proceed with the Harvest Moon Ball right here in the chapel and community room. So, we are going to have this time together, rain or shine, and also do not forget to bring your binoculars so that you can not only get a good look at the stars, but also have the pleasure of the astronomy or the Richfield Stars Astronomy Club provide you with some information about what is in the sky on that night. If the weather cooperates, it will be a wonderful show. I've been watching the sky all week and saw so many stars, and some clouds were kind of moving in, but I was able to locate a few that I've been learning about myself as a admirer of the Richfield Stars Astronomy Club. So come on out and enjoy Ron and the Henry Downing Band. And we certainly do appreciate all of the ways in which you contribute to many programs, many events, and having good food along with good music is something that we're sort of known for, and we just appreciate you being a part of this tradition here at Richfield.
Thank you, Vickie. Veronica and I have made new friends and have rekindled relationships, and some folks we haven't met before and some we have met in previous adventures in life, and so it's been a really good experience for us. We plan on living here as long as God's willing. Yes. I did want to add one thing, if I could. You and I walked the ground the other day, and some people are concerned, I think, about the lighting and also transportation. Can you review that?
Yes, that was next on my list. Transportation will be available. So you can call to arrange for transportation in advance, and or the vans will be located down by the lake to provide transportation to and fro. And also, lighting is being installed, started on yesterday, and so we will have sufficient lighting out for everyone to make sure that it's a safe environment. So all of those things are certainly being addressed. Yes, so thanks so much. And we are definitely looking forward. I sent out information on the upgraded menu of the grilled barbecue chicken, corn pudding, fried okra, cowboy beans, some very delicious menu. So thanks to Suzanne Quesenberry and the dining staff who will be providing that delicious meal, as well as a cash bar with specialty drinks. And we just look forward to this opportunity to get together one more time and just interject a little unity in the community. So thank you again, Ron, for joining me today. We look forward to each of you joining us on Friday, and we thank you for joining us today. A few programming notes on today. Don't forget that it's game time in the Quill at 2 o'clock p.m. So please be sure to join those who will be participating in speed gaming, as well as a good game of hand and foot, amongst others. And so that is today at 2 o'clock down in the Quill. And also on tomorrow, the IL Town Hall meeting right here in the chapel community room, and also on Channel 62. So please join us and get updated on information, community information. Also, please send your questions to info@richfieldliving.com in advance. So get those questions to us today or tomorrow morning so that we can have answers, or our leadership, Cherie, Esteban, and others will be able to have those questions answered for you in time for the broadcast. So once again, that email address is info@richfieldliving.com. And finally, my quote from the Jar of Awesomeness is one that relates to the upcoming festivities. And it states, "The truest expression of a people is in its dances and its music," by Agnes Demillier. And again, we thank Ron for being an integral part of Richfield's expression of music and social unity. And the final quote states, "Never stop dancing to the music in your heart." So this quote is the reason for the Harvest Moon Ball and other events. We just look forward to you enjoying the music, the food, the stars, your neighbors, dancing on the dance floor, in your chair, if necessary, but most importantly, in your hearts. So keep the music and the dancing going in your heart, and we'll do our part to keep it going as well. Thank you, Ron, once again for joining us.
Thank you, Vicki. Hope to see you Friday.
Yes, indeed. And we thank you all for joining us and hope you will have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye-bye. Oh, and no 11:11 on Friday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Open floor plans. Interest has been